The art of Parisian lighting, creating a cozy nighttime ambience in a small apartment. Welcome to Anna's Ideas channel. There's something magical about nighttime in a small Parisian apartment. When the sun fades and the city quiets, lighting becomes more than a practical necessity. It becomes the soul of the home. In a small and narrow space, especially one inspired by classic Parisian interiors, lighting determines whether the room feels cramped or comforting. Tonight, I want to walk you through how thoughtful lighting transforms tight quarters into an intimate sanctuary filled with warmth, depth, and timeless elegance. Small Parisian apartments are often long and narrow, with rooms arranged like a sequence of corridors. This layout can easily feel tunnel-like after dark if lighting isn't carefully layered. A single overhead bulb exaggerates shadows and makes walls close in visually. So the first lesson here is educational. Never rely on one central light source in a narrow space. Instead, think in layers and zones. Parisian lighting is never harsh. It doesn't flood a room with brightness, it whispers. Walk through neighborhoods like Marais in the evening, and you'll notice how cafes glow softly rather than shine brightly. That glow is intentional. In small apartments, we recreate this atmosphere by choosing light that flutters surfaces instead of exposing them. Color temperature is everything. I always recommend warm white bulbs, around 2700 K, to mimic candlelight. Cooler lighting might feel modern, but in a compact Parisian-inspired interior, it can make the walls feel stark and unforgiving. Warm light softens architectural details, enhances cream and taupe walls, and gives even the narrowest room a welcoming embrace. In a tight living room, floor space is precious. Wall sconces become invaluable. Mounted at eye level, they cast horizontal light that visually widens a narrow room. Instead of pulling the walls inward, they push light outward. This is one of my favorite design strategies because it combines practicality with elegance. A small console table with a linen-shaded lamp instantly changes the mood of a room at night. The glow from a table lamp creates a light island, a cozy focal point that draws you in. In Parisian interiors, these small pools of light make even modest rooms feel layered and intentional rather than accidental. Mirrors are essential in small apartments, especially at night. When placed opposite a lamp, they double the glow without adding extra fixtures. In historic residences near the Palace of Versailles, mirrors were used dramatically to amplify candlelight. We apply the same principle on a smaller scale, turning one gentle light source into two. Hallways in compact apartments are often overlooked. Instead of installing one ceiling fixture in the center, try two smaller lights spaced apart. This distributes illumination evenly and prevents the dreaded dark tunnel effect. Even better, choose fixtures with frosted glass to diffuse the light softly across the walls. In small rooms, depth is created with contrast. Combine a wall sconce, a table lamp, and perhaps a small floor lamp in a corner. Each light should operate independently. This allows you to adjust the mood depending on the time of night. Brighter for reading, softer for winding down. Even at night, curtains play a role. Light bouncing off soft linen drapery creates a diffused halo effect. Thick, heavy curtains absorb light, making narrow rooms feel smaller. Sheer or lightly textured fabrics help reflect warmth back into the space. If your small apartment includes molding or paneling, let lighting celebrate it. Place a subtle picture light above artwork or aim a small lamp toward decorative trim. Gentle highlights create visual rhythm along narrow walls, breaking up their length and adding sophistication. In a compact dining area, choose a pendant light that hangs lower than standard height. This brings intimacy to the table. A lowered pendant visually shortens a tall, narrow room and creates a sense of closeness that feels intentional rather than restrictive. In small Parisian bedrooms, bedside lighting is critical. Instead of overhead lights, rely on matching lamps or petite sconces. This makes the room feel like a cocoon. The goal is not brightness, it's serenity. One common mistake is thinking small spaces require more light. In reality, they require better light. Over-illumination flattens the mood and removes the mystery that makes Parisian interiors so captivating. Darkness, when controlled, adds elegance. Nothing captures Parisian nighttime charm like candlelight. Whether real or high-quality LED versions, candles introduce movement and warmth. The flicker softens sharp edges and makes narrow rooms feel alive. In a small apartment, physical dividers can crowd the layout. Instead, use light to define zones. A lamp near the sofa marks the living area, while a pendant over the table defines dining. Light becomes architecture. Brass lamp bases, gilded frames, or mirrored trays catch and scatter light subtly. These details add quiet glamour without clutter. Reflection adds dimension, which is crucial in small spaces. Lighting also supports lifestyle. As evening approaches, turning on lamps one by one becomes a ritual. This gradual transition signals rest. In small apartments, atmosphere is deeply connected to daily rhythm. Soft lighting reduces stress and encourages conversation. In a narrow room, harsh brightness amplifies confinement, but warm, layered lighting dissolves boundaries. It creates intimacy rather than limitation. The art of Parisian lighting is not about extravagance, it's about intention. In a small and narrow apartment, light shapes perception, mood, and comfort. By layering sources, choosing warm tones, and allowing gentle shadows to exist, even the tiniest home can glow with elegance. When designed thoughtfully, nighttime in a small Parisian-inspired apartment becomes not a compromise, but a quiet luxury.